Hey YouTubers, breaking news here. Apparently a letter has surfaced from 3 members of Congressman Joe Wilson's staff dishing on what it's like to work for the darling of the right wing. You know, the guy who heckled President Obama last week when he addressed a joint session of Congress. And well, anyway, here's the letter and it's a knockout.
This is an open letter to all Joe Wilson supporters. We are 3 staff members who have worked with Congressman Wilson for the past 10 years. Last week, we witnessed the truly shocking moment when Joe Wilson called the President of the United States a liar while he was addressing the House and Senate during a joint session, and then his subsequent half-assed attempt at an apology to President Obama. Well, this letter is to set a few things straight. Yes, Congressman Wilson's got great eyes, a tight stomach we spray with glycerin, and an awfully silly Marilyn Monroe tattoo plastered on his arm that we cover up to keep the religious right happy. We know this quite intimately because we've had the tedious experience of working with the dumb as a rock Joe Wilson on all 5 of his congressional campaigns. We can't give our names because sadly doing so in Washington could lead to us being banished from the Republican Party. One of us touches Joe's panties, the other has the often shitty job of pulling him out of his office when it's time for a vote on the House floor, while another writes legislation for the dimwit that he doesn't understand unless it's about flying the Confederate flag or banning internet poker. When facing the press, Joe is the king of talking trash and posing like a porn star, and yes, we've had the unbearable duty of watching him speak on the floor of the House, and yes, it's very cringeable. So maybe being a porn star in the future might be a good career option, but make up beware, he has a rebel flag tattooed on his backside, probably because he hates blacks so much. So when the 3 of us caught wind of the congressman pontificating on YouTube like he even knows how to create an account there, and every media outlet except Al Jazeera blabbering his trash mouth about our president, whom we 3 have grown to really like, we decided that we had to speak up. Just the thought of a United States congressman calling our commander-in-chief a liar in the House chamber during a time of war when our brave men and women in uniform are fighting and dying for our country in both Iraq and Afghanistan, places we don't think Joe could even find on a map, it makes us so mad that we just thought the people of South Carolina and the United States should know what kind of an imbecile we work for. Joe Wilson doesn't understand the first thing about health care. All his passion on this subject comes from his hatred of minorities and illegal aliens who he thinks are out to take control of the United States so they can anally probe him on their mothership back in Mexico. This is the real Joe Wilson that the rest of you never get to know. But fame is fleeting, and unless Sarah Palin decides to choose him as her running mate someday, he's likely to fade back into obscurity until the Democrats target him in the next elections and then run him out of Washington on a rail. And we can tell you that that would make his staff happy. Signed, 3 loyal Americans.